Hello, YouTubers. I'm not an expert, but I'm going to try something. All right. What we have here is a Stanley number 7 that I picked up at a flea market. You saw my flea market finds a while back. And it needs some work. You can see it clearly needs to be de-rusted, cleaned up, dealt with. The blade is actually a decent blade, but it certainly needs a sharpening and a cleaning. But that's going to come later. Today, excuse me. Today, we're going to make it a new tote. See, the tote's got the top busted off. Now, I don't have any rosewood. I really wish I did. That'd be cool. But I do have this big piece of walnut. Okay, it looks pretty nice, and I think it's going to work okay. And I just realized I forgot to look at what the grain direction is supposed to be. So I may have to restick that. Anyway, I got a template from Lee Valley. They are kind enough to have this that you can print up. Comes with instructions, and if you search around on the internet, there are some people making videos of how to do it. So you glue it to the wood, drill a couple holes to get your stuff started, drill a hole for the, it's got markings for where all the holes go. Shouldn't be too hard to do, but I'm not going to do it all on camera. I'll just come back and show you how the steps go. So between each step, I'll come back and give a little report. All right, here we go. Thanks. Now, what I've done so far, besides gluing the board down, is I've gone ahead and drilled a test hole and then a hole for the nut. That's a 7/16 hole. And now I'm going to drill a 5/16 hole all the way through along this line, which is on the document. Let's get it aimed a little better. There you go. So the way I have this set up, it lets me use, I'll just be as close as I can, as much drill bit as I can. Setting this up this way, the same center point as the original hole. I haven't moved the drill press at all. That should let me get it aimed in there good. Hopefully, find the center of the old hole. That's as deep as that side's going to go. Now I'm going to drill in from the other side. Make sure this is centered. It's not quite centered. That looks pretty good. And we're through. Okay, so what I've done, let's see if I can show you this, is by keeping it square, you've got a line there on the template to show you where to drill the holes, and that way they're accurately placed. The other hole in the toe here of the foot will come later after I've gotten it cut. We'll have to figure out how to make sure that lines up with my plane. It's an older plane. It may not be exactly in the same space as the one Lee Nielsen used for the template. So I'm going to change drill presses and drill these holes to help make the curves. All right, after some bandsawing, you can see it fit into place. So far, so good. Now I've got to set up my router, and I will round over the backs and the front using 1/2-inch round over bit while I can. I've completed the part on the router. I fit it in. I think that looks pretty good so far. A lot of handwork to do now. I took a 1/2-inch round over bit, rounded it over, and you can see I didn't make it cut the full 1/2-inch deep. I left a little bit. Figured better safe than sorry. Route it around to the end. Route it around to the end. I didn't show you that because wasn't using a lot of safety equipment, and it's a pretty dangerous thing to do. Your fingers get pretty close to a spinning blade working with a little piece like this. I ordered some double stick tape so I could try and clamp a bigger board onto it to give me something to hold on to, but of course it didn't show up, and I'm impatient, so here it is. Next, I'm going to break out some rasps and files and whatnot and start getting it shaped perfectly. Got to round the toe off, got to work around the heel, get it all sanded. I think it's going to look pretty good. Something I didn't mention earlier is the wood should be just under 1 inch thick, about 15/16. That's about what the plain totes were. Of course, you're welcome to make it any thickness you want. You got little hands, make it a little thinner. You got big fat hands, make it bigger. Choices are yours. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, we see it after the sanding. Turn that out of the way. Oh, there's something I'm going to have to deal with. That's bent a little bit. But that just hit and put a big mark on top of it. So I'm going to sand that up. Needs some more sanding, but I got it fitted. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to tip the saw in and get a better look at it. Now, one problem I had, if you can see that right, maybe not. The hole was too tight, so I was reaming it out with a slightly larger router bit, and I took a big chunk out right in front of it, right in front of the screw here. So I'm probably just going to sand that up, make it pretty rather than make a whole new one, but that'll be a lesson for next time. I will try not to do that again. For finish, I think I'm just going to put some boiled linseed oil on it. It'll have a nice feel. It'll look really good. So when I get that done, I'll come back and show you. All right, here's the finished product. I think it looks pretty good, if you ask me. It's just boiled linseed oil on walnut. You can see the grain patterns really well. Ignore that Rubio monocoat in the back. I decided not to use that. It looks about the same as the boiled linseed oil, but it doesn't have the simplicity of being able to have lots of coats. There it is. I mean, maybe a little bit of touch up here and there, but for the most part, I think that came out pretty nice. Just for an example, here is a early 1930s plane with the rosewood. Let's back that up, put them next to each other a little bit, take a look. That's not too bad. You know, it doesn't shiny. I could put shellac on it if I want to shine it up. Thinking about leaving it plain though, which then brings up the question, should I make it a matching knob? I've got the tote. Should I do the knob? Let me know in the comments below if you think I should do a knob. We do that on my lathe because unlike Paul Sellers, who spent like an hour making one by hand, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, that's a project. If you've got a plane with a busted tote, yes, you can make another one. It's not that hard. It actually went pretty easily. All right, we'll catch you later.